My name is Danielle Harrier and I am the newest Disney World Project Manager. Today I will be proposing a new avenue for our real estate development company. This is simply the solution for the current financial crisis we have been facing since the market shift in 2008. First, I would like to talk about the new direction our company will be turning towards. Originally, we have been buying buildings in undesirable locations. We will no longer be doing this. As it turns out, we have lost significant amounts of money on each of these purposes because there was no investors invested in the buildings in these locations. We are going to turn away from our old system and instead look for abandoned buildings in large cities. We will then convert these forgotten buildings into structures that can once again be useful. You may be asking yourself, what can we do with these abandoned buildings? Well, there are many options from destroying them to restoring them, but I'm going to talk about two alternatives we will be looking at. The first is repurposing, which simply means to adapt structures in order to serve a different function than they did originally when they were built. Next is refurbishing, which will consist of redecorating and renovating the structure to fit the needs of the new purpose. Now I would like to talk about the reasons why we should pursue these types of projects. There are many reasons, but first and foremost, these abandoned structures are on every corner in every big city, and the majority hold some sort of historical significance. We can buy these buildings for cheap, repurpose them, and sell them to big investors in the large cities. Not only is this profitable, but reusing existing buildings is good for the economy, the community, and the environment. This new direction isn't something that we are going to be the first people pursuing. In fact, there has been a lot of success in other cities with other companies when they have repurposed old buildings. I have looked through many credible sources and have found that repurposing is very successful, and here are a few examples. Just doing a basic search in the New York Times and putting in repurposing old buildings, many results come up. The first is architects and buildings using recycled and repurposed materials. This shows that being able to use an old building and the materials already present can save money and be a form of recycling. If we keep going down the results, you see many different projects that have been pursued. This one right here, Montclair's Old Buildings Become Modern Offices, is a story about recycling old buildings and in this particular case, turning them into modern offices. If we keep going down the list, we see examples of changing old classrooms into new buildings and preserving older structures. In the case of this one right here at the bottom, New York's industrial past. And if you just read the sentence beneath the title, discussing the economic benefits of reusing old industrial buildings in Brooklyn and the environmental costs of demolition. In this story, they talk about how expensive it is to actually knock down a building versus just going in and repurposing it and refurbishing it. Now that I have given the basis for a new direction and given a few examples of how this has already been successful, I would like to talk about our first project. This first project is going to be the Chicago Motor Club building. It is also known as Wacker Tower, and it is located in the heart of Chicago's busiest business district. What was once known as one of the finest skyscrapers in all of Chicago now stands abandoned with no current owner. The main reason why I have chosen Wacker Tower as the perfect starting project is because it is currently in very good condition. The main lobby has been preserved since its closing in 1986. The lobby contains all the original fixtures and windows that are still intact, and the Art Deco style on the inside as well as the outside has stood the test of time. The building was very well built, and it was built with a skeleton and structure that has no sign of current deterioration. As you can see here, the original staircase has also been preserved, and there isn't any prominent signs of deterioration here as well. Our approach or strategy is to begin this process is quite simple. Because Wacker Tower doesn't have a current owner, it is owned by the bank. It has been put on a bankruptcy auction, which means that we will be able to acquire this structure for a very low price, and reasonable price at that. Once we have ownership over the building, we must hire inspectors in order to make sure that the building's utilities are up to code, as well as start gathering information on what needs to be updated. With so many possibilities of what we could turn the Wacker Tower into, the one that I believe will be the most appealing to investors in the long run and more profitable to our real estate development company would be to turn the skyscraper into a hotel. With its great location and unique look, it will ensure that we will not have a hard time selling the finished product. Lastly, Chicago is a huge city that attracts over 46.2 million visitors every year, which means that there is definitely a demand for hotels. There are many benefits that this project will bring, not only to our company, but to the Chicago business area. We will be repurposing a historical building that has been empty for years, and we won't be aimlessly fixing it up. We will be transforming it into a hotel that the community needs and that the tourists will fill. When we are completed with this project, we will receive recognition which will bring more business to our company and increase our profits. The new direction towards repurposing and refurbishing old abandoned buildings will allow us to expand and grow financially. I have acquired my information from reliable sources and have listed them here in case you would like to follow my research. I have also placed here the links to the images that I have used. Thank you for your time and consideration of my proposal. I know we all want to see Disney World bounce back from 2008. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you.